Hello and welcome to Jason's Sports Show. I'm Jason Gerline. It's broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Sorry about the YouTube ads. Been having trouble with that lately. Today is a special episode. We have a friend here named Vinny. He's from Sacramento. I'm pretty sure you've all heard how much I like the Kings. So today we'll be discussing the state of the Sacramento Kings franchise. But first, I'll give you a little bit of background. Last season was feared to be the last season in Sacramento for the Kings. They had fought their hearts out and failed to bring any fans whatsoever to the stadium. But upon hearing that their beloved team was leaving Sacramento, Kings fans bought tickets for the last game to see their beloved Kings lose to the Clippers. The Kings, have been in Sacramento since '85. So over almost 30 years of history in the town. They have not been to the finals since 1951. My dad wasn't even alive the last time the Kings made the playoffs. So with that being said, let's hand it over to Vinny. Why do you like the Kings?
Hey guys, the main reason that I like the Kings is because, as most Kings fans say this, I'm from Sacramento, so you're loyal to your home team and not a bandwagoner. But I also still have faith in my team. I'm confident that now that we've switched ownerships, we can definitely pick up the pace and we can move towards actually rebuilding because we've been in this slump for so many years. And I mean, yeah, we haven't made the finals since 1952, but the point is that we've had so many opportunities to push forward, but we've been screwed over by other things that have really slowed us down. But now we're going to pick ourselves up, and I think we're moving in the right direction.
Okay. So I have Chris from last time's show. Let's go over the roster. What do we got, Chris?
As far as what they did last season, or just
the roster right now.
Season?
The roster
right
right now.
Just the roster right now. They have a plethora of guards. They've got Gravis Vasquez and Isaiah Thomas running the point. I expected Ben McLemore, selected 7th overall in this year's draft, will be the starter with Marcus Thornton and Jimmer coming off the bench to provide scoring and shooting. John Salmons and Mbah Moute will be manning the small forward spot. Carl Landry, a signing that I don't understand whatsoever for them. Patrick Patterson and Jason Thompson are all at the power forward. It's a bit of a log jam. You're going to have to move one of those guys. And then DeMarcus Cousins, the guy who really, if he ever figures it out, and nobody knows if he will, is their big man. He's their alleged franchise player. Maybe this is the year he figures it out. Maybe he and McLemore prove to be a good tandem. But as far as I know, this is not a playoff team. I don't see enough talent. I don't see enough defense, especially. And overall, I don't think they're quite ready, quite mature enough to make the leap to the postseason.
So, this team, in your position, how many years how many years is it going to take for them before they make the playoffs?
If McLemore is as good as advertised, and by that I mean a star shooting guard in a league lacking in star shooting guards, a guy who can fill it up from the outside, maybe become a better ball handler, better finisher around the rim. If he can turn into a nice blue chip or a nice young star, and then if DeMarcus Cousins, as I said, can become that franchise player, that center that dominates the league from the inside out, who's an offensive juggernaut and can give some effort on defense, those two could single-handedly carry the Kings to the postseason as early as next year. But I think this year is really a bridge year for them.
So rebuilding, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, because the Kings they've started their rebuilding phase now, because previously, in my opinion, the previous owners, the Maloofs, have really put them into a slump, and now the new owner, Vivek Ranadive, has to kind of pull them out. And, basically that's going to be a lot of work, but I agree with you. I mean, as close as next season, they could be reaching the postseason.
Say that guy's name again?
Vivek Ranadive.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so DeMarcus Cousins is known more for his antics on the court than what his performance is on the court, which is overlooked at times. Do you realize he's the captain of this team? One of the most immature players in the NBA today is a captain of a team. How does that make you feel as a Kings fan? That's like putting a 7-year-old as a captain of your team. How does that feel?
Well, again, this comes down to the fact that I feel like DeMarcus hasn't been given the proper leadership to really mature. But finally, I mean, with our new coach, Mike Malone, this guy, he's proven himself to be a mature guy. He worked with the Golden State Warriors and brought them from nothing to everything. And I'm confident that the relationship that DeMarcus and Mike Malone are building with each other, he's going to mature. I mean, regardless if he's mature or not, we already know how much talent DeMarcus has. And I'm confident that if he can get good mentorship from Mike Malone, he's really going to evolve into an amazing center.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like I'm the only one saying that. I mean, look at the USA team. Coach K himself has talked about his potential, and so I mean, yeah, he's just got to mature a little bit more, and he'll definitely carry the team with that talent.
So, I've had a lot of criticisms about the Sacramento Kings past this year. I'm sorry, but I was very heavily in favor of bringing the team back to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the Seattle and Portland rivalry needed to be renewed, and I thought Sacramento would be that team. But apparently, the NBA owners do not agree with me, ruling 28-2 that the Sacramento Kings would stay in Sacramento. What were your first reactions when you heard that the Kings might be leaving their home of 28 years, 27 years?
Yeah, a lot of years. But honestly, I mean, like every other Kings fans, I was sad because, well, you know, the Kings have not been good. It's proven that's true. But the fact is that there are loyal fans to the Kings that have stuck through this entire slump that we've gone through. And when I heard that Seattle may take the Kings from us, I was kind of disappointed. I mean, to all due respect to Seattle, I hope they get their team once, but just the Kings belong in Sacramento. I mean, if you look down in history, the legacy lies in Sacramento. They've done so much here, and I feel like they can still do more. So I was sad, but I was still also confident that we could match their offer with the mayor, Kevin Johnson, moving towards keeping them here. So I was sad, but I was also confident that they'd stay.
Your fellow Kings fans don't agree with support for the team, ranking last in the NBA in attendance. I don't know what it is. You have one team in your city. I don't know how you guys don't have fans coming day and night. The Portland Trailblazers put out poop every night sometimes, and they still rank 4th in the league. Can you explain to me why there's not much people going to these games?
Well, it's a combination of a lot of things. One, the Kings Arena, I mean, people have demanded, and the team especially has demanded a new arena.
Isn't it like the middle of nowhere?
I mean, it's not really in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like, it's like a little bit. It's an essential area. There's not a lot of like land around it.
Is there around a lot of trees?
No, it's just like a bunch of barren lot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, there's trees a little bit, but it's not like a forest, if that's what you mean. But basically, the new arena is definitely going to help with more attendance. And again, Sacramento, like it or not, it's not a small city, but there's not many people there. It's not big like Los Angeles. And adding on the failures of the Kings, I mean, what are you going to expect? There's still going to be lower attendance. But again, I'm confident that it's going to raise if we can build that new arena.
So building a new arena will equal success, what you're saying?
Not success, just more attendance. I believe success is based upon the people we've drafted, the maturity of DeMarcus Cousins, and the new coaching staff and ownership that are going to move us in the right direction.
Your stadium is called Sleep Train Arena. Need I say more?
Well, they're changing the name, so good thing for that. I mean,
so Sleep Train is not going to be called Sleep Train anymore?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what the name is going to be. They just started doing the plans for the new arena.
I'm looking at a picture of it. It looks like your arena is a office building on like Pacific Highway.
Okay, well, you're looking at a picture in daytime. I think you should go down to a Kings game at night and see the amount of people. I mean, like, yeah, look at that picture right there. I mean, if you guys could see the picture we're looking at.
Okay, so a couple of minutes ago, I watched a video of the 2012-2013 season opener at Sleep Train Arena. What they had was basically equal to a cult meeting in the middle of Sacramento. There were people with black robes, swords, and Jimmer Fredette was holding a bow. Now,
it's because he's got a mean shot.
Jimmer Fredette should not be trusted with a bow But then again, I wouldn't be really too afraid. He's not
Well,
gonna.
about
He's
Jimmer,
he has very bad aim. So
I'm gonna be honest, Jimmer kind of let the Kings down. We thought he had a lot more in him, but I still think he can be a solid bench player. I mean, think about it. This guy's playing like 14 minutes and he's averaging like 9 points per game. That's decent for 14 minutes. And if you give him more time, he could definitely evolve.
Do you think Jimmer should be on the trading block?
I think if we can get a good trade for him, I think so, because we have too many guards.
What would be a good trade for you? What do you think would be a good trade?
Well, I think we need to acquire a more solid small forward. I mean, we have a lot of small forwards, but we need a more solid small forward, someone who can really produce. We have a lot of good defensive people. We have Luke Richard and Ba Mute, and we have John Solomons, but
you guys have Luke Richard? You mean of the former Minnesota Timberwolves, Luke Richard?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh no, Luke Rittenhauer.
No,
wait, Rittenhauer? You know, Rittenhauer is the one I was talking about, I think.
No, Rittenhauer he's not on the Kings. We're talking about Mba Amute.
Okay. Well, of the Bucks, I believe. Is it the Bucks? No, it's the Bucks. It's the Bucks, I think.
Yeah, it's the Bucks, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the Bucks. That's a Bucks jersey right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good piece.
But I mean, if we could acquire like a stronger small forward and maybe a solid backup center to DeMarcus Cousins, because right now we have Chuck Hayes, and I mean, I love all Kings players, but let's face it, Chuck Hayes is poop. He's really bad. Yeah, so if we could get a good backup to Cuz, and we could have a little more a solid small forward, that would really help us. Trading block, I think we should trade more guards. I mean, we have a plethora of guards. I mean, Ray McCallum, he's shown a lot of potential in the summer league. I know that's not the regular season, but him, Jimmer, I think Marcus Thornton, who's kind of old as well. We could get solid people for those if we were to trade those guys.
Okay. Okay, I want you to make a pitch. Why should Kings fans come out to support the Kings this season, despite the fact that they just nearly saved the franchise?
Because it's a new era. I mean, the Kings they're not the same Kings anymore. They've changed the complete ownership. There's been a lot of lineup changes too, and they're moving in the right direction. We got a new arena, and if you truly are a Kings fan or a basketball fan from Sacramento, you should support your home team. That's just the right thing to do. I know you're from LA. You like the Clippers.
Yeah.
That's pretty loyal, and just that makes sense.
So Chris, you're the super basketball expert here. What are the Kings in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Yes, in 5 years.
Championship.
Well, let's say I think they'll end up trading one of Isaiah Thomas and Gravis Vasquez, if only because those are two guys who are, borderline starters in the NBA. They've shown that they can start for teams and have success. I think having 2 point guards like that on a roster is not good. You should only have one.
Oh, trade one for a superstar and then keep the other as a bench player.
I'd be honest with you, I'm in favor of Isaiah instead of Gravis.
Biggest steal of the draft. That guy's averaging so much.
Isaiah's shown why he's the starting job, and I think Gravis stays in Sacramento for how long is his contract?
I forgot actually. I think.
Forever long. He's not gonna be in Sacramento that long. He's a great fix for right now, but once Isaiah develops, he'll become, dare I say, a top 15 in the league.
Well, honestly, I think Vasquez is actually a pretty good fit for this year, especially because this guy's pretty underrated. He was third in the league in assists, and being a really good facilitator, he's gonna give space for McLemore to grow. He's gonna pass more to Cousins, and it's just gonna be a good matchup to score points. And honestly, Vasquez, if we don't do great this season, which I will admit this is a rebuilding season, we got this good draft coming up that's really gonna prop us up further. So I'm not super disappointed that we're not gonna do perfect this season, because if there is a season to not do well, it's this one.
Okay, so
I'm not saying purposely tank, but I'm saying
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go around the table here. I'll start with me. I'll go to Chris, and I'll go to you. My win-loss projection for the Kings right now, 33 and 49. That's what I think. Decent season, not too bad, not too good. What do you think, Chris?
Hold up. Let me see. How many games did they win last year?
They won 28.
28. All right.
I think they're only going to go up 5.
I would say they go
The West is hard this year.
It's true. Well,
They'll go 29-53.
So one win improvement.
I think they'll go 29-52. They'll be the third worst team in the West with
Phoenix,
Utah, and Phoenix ahead of them in that race, if you want to call that a race. Macklemore will have a solid year. He'll struggle out of the gate, but he'll find his way. Cousins will
explode
as he does every year. Show flashes of brilliance, but as the season comes to a close, we'll be at the same conclusion. This guy is too immature to be.
Hey,
what makes you say that? I mean, come on, Cousins.
What makes me say that?
We've got a new, more mature coach. Cousins has got a good relationship with him. I mean,
wait, how is Mike Malone more mature? This is his first year as a head coach.
No, I mean, have you seen the relationship between Mike Malone and Cuz? Yes, I have.
How is it?
He's been to a lot of summer league games, and they've really been, socializing more than Cuz has ever done with any other coach. And I will admit he's shown interest in some other coaches, but heck, Cousins, he hugged Mike Malone.
I want to say this. Even though I'm predicting Sacramento to only win 5 more games next season, I expect to see possibly a 7-10 or 7-12 win improvement after next season. So they'll go. This season they win 28-54. Next season they'll be 33 49. And then in the season after that they'll be like, what did I say? 33. Oh yeah, they'll be like 45 and 37. That's a big improvement.
There's only room for improvement, and
the 12 win. The biggest expectations is a 15 win improvement from here on out. Wait, no, that's not the right math. A 20 win improvement from here on out.
Well, I mean, think about it.
19 wins or something.
If they can really get rid of their expiring their contracts and players that they don't really want, like Travis Outlaw and Chuck Hayes and people like that, and if they can acquire better people, draft some good people in this upcoming good draft. I mean, there's only room for improvement. I'm assuming that maybe not next year, but at least the year after that, they're going to be a postseason team.
Okay, so next year, what's the win-loss record?
Next year, the upcoming year?
This upcoming year.
I'm going to have to agree with you. 5 to 7 more wins than they did last season because, again, the West is really difficult. Not with the whole West being difficult and everything. Adding on to that, it's a completely new franchise. We know how difficult that is. Even the Miami Heat lost when they became basically a new franchise.
And also, that being said, the Kings did not fare that bad against their division this year, going 7-9. I mean, that's pretty good for the division, considering that
they're in a pretty tough division.
With the Clippers and Golden State. I wouldn't say the Lakers are a threat anymore.
No,
especially without Kobe. So with that being said, hey, Gabe, want to do a baseball segment? So I have Gabe from New York, Yankees fan.
Loser.
So I just want to start off by saying the Dodgers are what I would like to call succeeding at what they do best, which is winning. So the reason why I'm being a Yankees fan on the show is Dodgers will be taking on the Yankees for a 2-game series tomorrow and Wednesday. First game is Phil Hughes versus Zach Greinke. Second game is the Kershaw versus Hiroki Kuroda, former Dodger, making his first appearance since leaving the team. Let's be honest here, Gabe. Yankees have Alfonso Soriano. Do you really think that's going to make a difference to the season?
I certainly think it will make a difference. I think it made a difference in our last game, which he won for us. I think Robinson Cano came up to bat and he struck out. He didn't come up, and I don't think he'll be able to do it every single game like he tried to do at the beginning of the year with everyone injured. And I think now that we have Soriano and Jeter back, I think that'll take a huge load off. And I think it will definitely projectile us. That's a word.
Okay.
Towards victory.
Project us.
Project.
Yeah,
project. The Yankees have been under a lot of stress lately with their team and everything. I mean, A-Rod completely putting the black mark over the Yankees. What should become of A-Rod?
Honestly, I was very disappointed to hear he had used steroids a second time. The first time it was very disappointing. He was such a great player. He at one point he was like top 3 in the league. And then to realize that he had only once again used steroids and it was all fake, and so much goes down the drain because it's not actually your team. It's not real anymore. It's fake.
Okay, so there's I'm looking at the roster right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that are on the DL that could have made a huge difference to the Yankees. Kevin Youkilis, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Travis Hafner, and Curtis Granderson. If 4 of those guys, and all those guys except maybe Kevin Youkilis, were excluding A-Rod, do you think the Yankees would be a better team? Having Mark back, having Curtis back, having Youkilis back?
Certainly. I think Youkilis started the season off strong. He was showing great light of being an experienced player that will help this team. And then it was a shame to see him sit out after his problem. And I think Mark, he came back. This year when the Yankees, when they come back after injuries, they come back strong. And it was just heartbreaking to see him go right back out the way he came in. I think the Yankees are certainly a better team with their stars. It's a huge disappointment to see everyone sitting on the bench with injuries the whole season.
Okay, can you explain to me why Ivan Nova's not starting anymore? He was a breakout star in like 2010, 2011, and we haven't seen much from him since. Why isn't Ivan Nova starting anymore?
It's a tough one, but I don't know if I call him a breakout star. I'd say we found some potential there. I'm not the Yankees. I guess they saw he needed some time to improve and get off, take a seat, and so we can only hope that he comes back in and he gives us a big boost. But obviously, it doesn't seem like it will be this season, but maybe next season we'll see some more.
Do you think the Yankees need a tank, considering their pitching staff is as good as they could be? If they didn't have the offense they have, this pitching staff would be comparable to the Indians in like 2009, 2010, any year the Indians played. Because CC Sabathia, okay, I get it, you're okay. Hiroki Kuroda has been the ace of the staff. Phil Hughes is pitching past. He's done. Get him out of there. Andy Pettitte needs to leave. Doesn't belong. Andy Pettitte's too old to be pitching anymore. Okay. The ERAs on this team are skyrocketing. You can't have 4 or 5 guys can't have over 3 ERAs, and that's what they have. The only guy who's really performing is Hiroki Kuroda. So I'll start this off with the pitching questions. Is Andy Pettitte too old to be pitching?
I think he's probably pretty borderline. When he came back after he had left, I was like, he's Brett Favreing this. But then, I guess I thought he had something left when he came back, but I think it's just about time for him to give it a rest. I think we need to find some new pitcher, but I guess until we can find some more talent, he's all we got.
I don't know if you knew this, but you guys are holding on to CC Sabathia till 2016. He is not performing. He's in his second year of his contract, and what he's been putting out for the Yankees this season is 9 wins, 9 losses, almost a 4.65 ERA. Is CC Sabathia, is he done?
Not at all, honestly. I think when I came into this season, I was thinking the issue with CC was that there wasn't enough drive for him. He didn't think this team could really make it anyway, so what's the point? But I think it's just that I think he needs number one, he needs to get some defense back. All these players we're putting in, like Reed Brignac, just like throwing them out like, oh cool, I found this guy, in the AA, AAA. We need to really get some actual players back out on the field. Obviously, that can only happen with time. I think after you get some more defense, lower that ERA, feel a little more steady. I think also, with with his teammates, batting for him, he'll feel more of a drive, more compelled to put everything he's got in it. But for now, it can only go up.
Is Robinson Cano the Yankees' only good player?
I'm going to say no on that.
Who else do you think is worthy of being called decent?
I think Hiroki Kuroda is pretty decent. I think Derek Jeter, last season people thought he was aging. I think that he shut them up. He proved them wrong. He did pretty darn well last season, and this season, as it comes to a close, I hope he does the same. I think it's too soon to see if Soriano is really that good for us, but as it stands, those might very well be our solid players.
So they come into LA barely. They're coming off a series against the Rays, who somehow have taken over first place in the East, and they lost 2 out of 3 against them, barely avoiding getting swept away. Let's be honest here. The best chance for the Yankees to even come out of this series against the Dodgers unscathed is if they win Game 2 somehow while facing Kershaw. Kershaw, in all honesty right now, he's the best pitcher in baseball right now. I don't know if you agree with me, but he's the best pitcher in baseball. Has one of the lowest ERAs. The only reason he has 6 losses is because of his run support. He doesn't get much run support when he goes out there. His whip is under 1. He's putting in a lot of innings of work. He's doing a great job, and he's probably putting out a better effort than most pitchers are doing right now. So, what do you think? Do you think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now?
Yeah, I think he's certainly up there. I think start of the season, the Dodgers were not a team you'd necessarily want to be playing for, but as the rise of Puig has shot them right back up there, I think he has improved remarkably. Quite proportional to the team's offense. He has delivered a lot more defense, and I think he is certainly one of the best.
So, with that being said, the Yankees probably will lose Game 1 with Hughes in the mound. Let's be honest here. And the Yankees might win Game 2 if the Dodgers don't produce any offense, but at this point in the game, the Dodgers are looking pretty good right now to take this series from the Yankees. But one last question before we go off. Do you think Mariano Rivera will make an appearance this series?
Well, I'm not so good at predicting the future, but if I had to guess, I would say yes. I think the Yankees will find a way to pull a lead in a game, most likely the second. And I think Rivera will come home with the save.
Okay, we'll see about that. This has been Jason Gerland for Jason's Sports Show. I want to thank all my guests to join us. Next week is SBC, which means you're going to be seeing maybe 5 shows a day. That's an exaggeration, but you're going to be seeing a show a day. And it's going to be pretty good, so we'll see what happens. Also, this has been Jason Gerland broadcasting live from LA, Los Angeles, California, at USC. Thank you for listening.